Nice to meet
you. My name is Bennett. Good afternoon, Gettysburg. My name is Bennett. Okay. I'm Bennett Hudson, your host, and there's a lot of things that we're going to talk about. Okay, so what are we going to do?
From the top.
It's a stressful week. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Good afternoon, Bennettsburg. How was the bet? How was the behind the scenes going?
It's like 90% of you naming the town after yourself.
I think I need a little break, guys. I'll be back.
Hey, Ben, what's up?
Well, just practicing.
Okay, how's that coming, guys?
It's personally okay.
Okay, cool. So I think we should get a new videographer. So where can we find one?
Well, I know someone from freshman grade that would, be interested in this.
Welcome to the behind the scenes of the Warrior W.I.RE.
Yo, what is up, guys? It's Extreme King Vlogs here, back again with a brand new video. My bad, bro. I'll come back.
Hey, wait.
Yo, what's up, bro?
You're a YouTuber, right?
Yeah, I'm Extreme King Vlogs here, bro.
And you film on a daily basis and all that? You know how to edit and all that kind of shit?
Shaw, bro.
Your headphones aren't connected.
3, 2, 1, go!
Good afternoon, Gettysburg. I'm Mary Heaton.
And I'm Conor Wagner.
Thanks for tuning into the Warrior W.I.RE.
Now, Mary, we have a really busy week. We have a lot to cover, so let's just get right into it. As you know, it is Thanksgiving weekend, and starting off, we're going to have a Cooking with Kriel episode. So on Thanksgiving, you buy a turkey. It's usually a lot of money. It's usually a lot of hassle. So me and my friends, we take chemistry with Mr. Armour, and he usually has a very interesting way of introducing his stoichiometry unit. Interesting and effective. I learned it so fast. So it clearly worked. But he uses something that he calls spam loaf. Now, he says that he eats this on Thanksgiving. I forget why, to be honest, but he eats this, and he uses it to introduce stoichiometry. So me and my friends figured, hey, what if we could actually make this in the kitchen? It's an alternative way to making a turkey. It's a lot less money, and it's a lot easier for Thanksgiving. So why don't we take a look at the Cooking with Kriel and just see really if this spam loaf will work.
Alright, so that's how you can use a recipe to relate it to a balanced chemical equation and then do stoichiometry problems in chemistry, just like we make conversions with a recipe. But remember that this recipe is bogus. It's totally fake. It's probably hazardous to your health, so don't go making this for Thanksgiving dinner. Everybody got that?
Hi Gettysburg, welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Kriel. I'm Dylan Gebler.
And I'm Silas Gesser, and this is the star of the show, Mrs. Kriel. We're back!
Now, we're having trouble with finding something to make for Thanksgiving because my family thinks making turkeys is too much of a hassle. So what could you recommend?
Well, it is a lot of work to put a turkey together. And I think last year, if you remember, you can only do Thanksgiving quesadilla once every, 50 years. So it is time to do something different. And I don't know, but I've been hearing some talk about a spam-a-loaf from some science class.
Yeah.
Cooking is basically eating your science.
Yeah.
So could we try it?
I think so.
Well,
I think
let's do it.
So the main ingredients we have are obviously the 2 cans of Spam, and then the essential full bottle of Tabasco. I think you
A full bottle, you say?
you can't have it without Tabasco. Then breadcrumbs and 2 eggs.
Absolutely. Hey, fun fact, did you know that in Hawaii, Spam is one of the most popular meats ever? So, we use it a lot in Hawaii. So we're gonna try that here, because if it's good enough for Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is a science thing. What do we have to do here, guys? What do you think we need to do with this?
I think I need to try it first.
You're gonna try? You're gonna try that? Well, you know what? Wow, you're brave. You shouldn't sort of stuff you haven't tried. I was like, well, how can the whole state of Hawaii be wrong?
Let's just shove it all in one bowl. I think this will work.
And when it doesn't come out of the can, that's usually a sign of just quality food right there. Okay.
It has the texture of like pudding.
Or like that cranberry stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that comes out of the can.
There you go.
That's quality. Okay. All right. Awesome. And you say like the whole bottle of hot sauce? Is that
Yeah,
the
you need
whole
the
thing?
you need the whole bottle.
Is that actually
I heard
the
that
baby?
you can't use it without the bottle.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
You might take a while to pour all of the sauce.
It really could.
out.
You might need to scoop some off the side of the thing too.
Okay. Well, why don't you start doing that?
Oh, yeah, I got
okay?
you.
Yeah.
All right, and then we'll get some breadcrumbs. All right, so, well, when you make actual meatloaf, you know, you need stuff to pull it all together. Gosh, this already seems so much less work than actual food you can eat.
And
Exactly.
I think the
Oh my
taste
gosh.
is just gonna be so much better.
Okay, that was a lot of
I
it.
get kind of sick of turkey. I
Well,
really prefer this.
again, if the whole state of Hawaii can do this Spam stuff.
Wow, that's got a nice smell.
Hey,
All these eggs are going to be amazing for keeping them together.
that's right.
Got the brown ones too. Yeah.
That's, you know, good stuff.
Essential.
Yeah.
So
All
how
right.
start mixing this up, buddy?
Mixing it up. Okay.
Okay, well,
Is there some techniques
Go
like
ahead.
a potato masher?
I think the best way, remember the best tool we have in the kitchen is our hands.
Our hand. Well, let me take my watch off.
Okay.
Let me get right into this.
And I don't think, considering we're using Spam, it really matters if we wash our hands or not.
Yeah. Well, I was
That's a good
I was
one.
gonna lie and say that I did wash my hands, but there's gonna
It's
be
Spam.
Wow, that is. Yes.
So
Don't
when they say
forget to get the yolk.
Yeah.
when they say mixing by hand, this is
Yeah.
good. All right. And we need a special kind of pan to do a meatloaf. So I think,
I can feel it
Now-
in my fingernails.
like I said, I heard about this in science. Like kids are talking about this. Mr. Armour must
Yeah.
be an amazing science teacher to
Oh,
have
yeah.
people talking about this. So what's the point with this in science?
Stoichiometry.
Stoichiometry. Yeah.
Stoichiometry.
Yeah. It's
Sounds hard, but it's pretty easy.
yeah.
Okay.
It's all about balancing the chemical equations, which is what he used these ingredients for, to show
Okay.
how you can balance them and make sure everything has equal parts. And I think this is ready.
Okay. It's ready, guys. What do you
Let's put
say?
this thing in
All
this
right.
oven.
Let's get this baby going.
Can't wait.
Voila.
Oh yes.
Nice.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to tell Mr. Arnold what this tastes like.
Oh. Oh, it does.
Thank you so much, Ms. Kriel, for showing this amazing Thanksgiving recipe. I truly cannot wait to tell Mr. Arnold what this tastes
Oh yeah.
like.
I'm gonna show my family. We're gonna make this every year.
And I'm sure the people of Hawaii will enjoy this meal greatly. Ms. Kriel, the true master chef.
Silence, you got that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, got it.
All right, good.
Well, I will definitely be trying Spam loaf this Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But now we have something really special. We have a special guest with us, Adam Micheal, a longtime friend of the show. You were here last year, and we're like, you did so well, we want to bring you back. So thank you so much for being here, Adam.
This is the first time I've ever been asked to come back for anything, so I appreciate it.
Great.
So as the winter sports season are starting and we're closing up with the fall sports season, what were some highlights for Gettysburg High School this year?
You know, I was really impressed with the way that Gettysburg performed in pretty much every sport. You know, we always had pretty high expectations for Gettysburg, but I thought the boys soccer team, you know, with their win against Redland and pushing Lower Dauphin to double overtime in districts was way more than anybody would have anticipated there. If they'd have been able to pull that off, it would have probably been the upset for the ages. The girls soccer program, we didn't know what was going to happen with them, and you know, to qualify for districts for the first time in several years was really impressive. And man, this football team was a whole lot of fun to watch. Amon Robinson obviously is the big name, setting the school record there with 1,534 yards, I believe. But, you know, from top to bottom, when you're watching Gunnar Pennington and Austin Heiser causing chaos in the middle on defense, or, you know, that big offensive line, they were just a lot of fun. And looking forward to seeing how they can come back next year, because I know they have a lot of really talented players there.
Yeah. So moving out of fall sports, moving into the winter season, I assume you'll be covering a lot of the meets and games there, so I look forward to seeing some of them. But we always talk sports with you, Adam. And, you know, don't get me wrong, that is a blast. But I was kind of curious, what are some of your other hobbies outside of sports?
So lately, my hobbies have pretty much been taking care of our dogs that are tireless. But you know, we have a 5-year-old Shiba Inu named Parker and a 8-month-old blue heeler Pomeranian mix, very strange mix named Shuri. And they've both been named after one of our my other big hobbies, which is Marvel comics and movies. I'm a huge fan. I do a ton of reading almost every day, and you know, stop by Four Corners Comics if you haven't been there. It's a great place to get some good suggestions for comic books. So there's, I mean, I also do a lot of reading. You know, I play sports when I'm able, and some video games. But when you work days and everybody else works nights, I'm sorry, when you work nights and everybody else works days, you know, you got to find some time to kill some time at home.
Yeah. Saying that superhero stuff, man, that is everything I want to be in life. So, yeah. So,
as many of you may know, and you may know, Stan Lee, the creator of Marvel, died earlier this week. So.
Wait, Stan Lee's dead?
Whoa.
That was my reaction, in a nutshell.
That's probably how Stan Lee might have reacted to something like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how do you think he impacted the comic book universe?
I think Stan Lee had a lot of impacts in a lot of ways, and you know, even for me, you know, growing up as a little kid, watching Spider-Man cartoons, you know, I learned that it was important to, you know, be true to yourself, and you know, there were going to be moments that were embarrassing and where people might get bullied. I was never bullied specifically, but you have to stand up for, you know, the little guy, and that was what I always loved most about Peter Parker. I think Stan Lee did a great job not only of capturing those sorts of stories and giving a human element to a lot of characters, but he was also the guy who, in his office, you know, when people were drawing pictures and they just weren't animated enough, he'd stand up on his desk and say, I want him to look like this. And, you know, when you've got a guy with that much imagination who's really just able to go out and get it, it inspires everybody else around them to try harder and to try new things. And one thing that kind of relates to journalism is when drawing a comic book, you're always looking for a new angle. One of the videos we just watched there, we saw, you know, a shot from inside the oven, which I loved, and Stan Lee would have loved that too, because it's just not what you're usually expecting when you watch cooking video. And whether it's journalism or comic books or any sort of art, taking something and spinning it around and finding a new way in is just a really important part of understanding everything. And so that's one of the things that I love most about Stan Lee.
Yeah, and I think it's really important we also mention Stan Lee, because we don't really talk much about celebrities and all that stuff on the show. But like Adam said, Stan Lee was just, you know, this inspirational figure who made everything out of his life. You know, he made Marvel, he was a creative genius, and I think it really should inspire a lot of students here just to, you know, defy your expectations. Use your creative imagination just to inspire millions, as Stan did. So I think it's really important that we mention that here. With that said, I've always wondered this, Adam. What is your favorite superhero? Marvel, DC, across the board?
So my favorite growing up was always Spider-Man, and I still think that is probably the answer that I give. But the one that really surprised me in the MCU, Rocket still might be my favorite. I love him. He's a smart aleck. But Captain America was my least favorite character growing up, and I think that the combination of, you know, Marvel movie magic making and Chris Evans' performance have really done a great job of showing how being a good person inside and out doesn't have to be kind of just a nerdy, dorky thing, and how hard it is to make the right choice continuously over and over again. And that's something that I had to learn a little later in life, and that character honestly helped me put some of that into perspective. As silly as that is to be learning from comics, you know, at the age of 24 or 25, that was a thing for me.
Yeah.
So, what do you think has been the best Marvel film of the year?
Ooh, best of the year?
The year.
Oh, it has to be Infinity War. I mean, who saw any of that coming?
Oh my
Comedy
gosh.
was incredible, and yeah, the other movies were nice, but Infinity War blew it out of the water for me.
We will be covering part 2 this year, so I'm so excited for that. maybe we'll bring you back here, even have a conversation. I think that would be awesome.
All right. Well, I look forward to potentially speaking with you guys again.
Yeah, well,
Thank you so much for joining us
yeah.
here this afternoon. Make sure to follow Good Old Two Names on Twitter for sports updates throughout all 3 of the sports seasons.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching the Warrior Wire Thanksgiving special. As always, I'm Conor Wagner.
I'm Mary Heaton.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yo, what's up? I'm Dan Stoner, and I'm here to get the scoop on what really goes down here in Gettysburg on Thanksgiving. I'm Dan Stoner here with Brandon Golden. All right, Brandon, what's your favorite part about Thanksgiving?
Probably all the eating, man. I love the great mac and cheese and the turkey.
Man, me too, man. All right, good talking to you, bro.
You too.
I'm here with
Jared Townsend.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Jared?
Hanging out with the family and eating some good food.
Yep. Now I'm here with
Mr. Lusk.
Mr. Lusk. What are you doing this Thanksgiving?
I hang out with my family in State College usually. The last few years we've gone to State College with my in-laws and hang out with the family and eat a lot of food and just enjoy the time.
It's all about the family. Right?
It's actually my favorite holiday. Just the simplicity of it, just to be thankful. I think that's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, very much is.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm here with
Mrs. Bennett.
Miss Bennett. What do you like to do on Thanksgiving?
Well, my favorite thing to do is bake. So I like to bake pies and cookies and cakes. And then, of course, eat turkey.
Who doesn't? And that was the scoop on Gettysburg Thanksgiving.
Good afternoon, Gettysburg. My name's Gettys. So, good afternoon, Bennett. I'm Gettysburg. Wait. How's the pronunciation going?
Oh.